Hey guys, what's going on? SpitBrix here, back for their LEGO video, and today we're looking at even more LEGO sets that break the rules, 20 of them in fact. This is the third video in this series due to popular demand, and I'll provide links to the previous two videos in the description below. LEGO is an amazing company. In fact, they produce over 800 unique sets every year, but of course some mistakes do slip by. In order to qualify as a LEGO set that breaks the rules, a set must either have an error in its instruction booklet, on its box art or product images, or contain an accidental mistake that quite obviously was not meant to be there. Many hours of research have went into this video, and all I ask from you in return is that if you go on to enjoy today's video, please take 2 seconds to hit the like button down below. I've also got a special lightning round towards the end of this video with some set errors that you definitely won't want to miss, so stay tuned for the entire video. The first set qualifying for this video today is the Downtown Diner set. This is a LEGO Creator set, and as you're building it, you come across this step here. You're just creating one of the floors for the diner. However, there's something very odd about this instruction step, and that's because there is just an arrow floating in mid-air. This is a phantom arrow is what I like to call it. It's just floating there. It's not pointing to anything that you need to add on the set. It's also not coming from anything either. It's just floating there. So this is an error whenever the designer was creating the instructions for this set, probably copy and pasted the arrow a few too many times. Since there are 2 arrows on this instruction step here, this one just wasn't deleted, I guess, at the very end, and thus we have a phantom arrow. Next up is the LEGO Ninjago Katana V11 set. Now this was posted on Reddit by a user by the name of JCGold17. He saw this box error while he was in Barnes & Noble, and if you just look at this box, you know immediately that there is something wrong. It looks like it has been printed over multiple times, or maybe the black ink had something seriously wrong. It wasn't aligned properly or some sort, but if you look at this set, it almost makes you dizzy. It makes you look like maybe you're seeing some things. But if you look at the sets around it, there's a Minecraft LEGO set on the left and another Ninjago set over on the right, and they're perfectly fine, which means that this was just a production error while this box was being printed. That error definitely makes this a one-of-a-kind LEGO set, and speaking of which, if you guys have ever had LEGO sets with errors or mistakes, let me know with a comment down below. Funny enough, this next error is from one of the newest LEGO Star Wars sets. This is Trouble on Tatooine. This LEGO Star Wars set for the Mandalorian has an error with its product images. Now, this main box image looks fine. However, if you look at this product image where it actually shows the contents of the set, and you look at the Mandalorian himself, you'll notice that his rifle looks a little bit different than it's supposed to. But if you compare these two Mandalorian and look at the scope for his rifle, you'll notice automatically that the one on the left is the correct version and the one on the right is the incorrect version. Here's an example that exemplifies or illustrates, I should say, what I'm talking about. The top one is obviously correct and the bottom one is not correct of how to construct his weapon. This is an interesting error in such a new set, and I'll be curious to see if LEGO goes back and reverts those images and takes new ones since it's such a brand new set for 2021. Now this next set, the LEGO Creator Expert Haunted House, is quite literally breaking LEGO's rules. So let me show you. So on this step, this is step 19 of the instructions, you can see that you're supposed to put 2 black 1x1 bricks on top of each other and then fit it into the build. However, it says 2x on the white square. Now whenever LEGO says 2x, usually that means you got to build it twice. However, you're only building that contraption of 2 bricks on top of each other one time. So this doesn't fit with LEGO's rules for making instructions. There really shouldn't be that 2x there at all, and that just makes it more confusing having that 2x there, because it seems like you're making 2 of these pillars instead of only 1. Next up is this LEGO City Ferry set. Now, not only is this a very unique set on its own, but it also has a very unique error in it. So we have this car which is built in this set, and we can see we have a license plate on the very front. For this picture, the license plate sticker is on the grille of the car in the very front. However, in the instructions, it tells you to put the sticker on the bumper of the car. Now, that's not just a mistake on one single instruction page, but throughout the entire book in multiple different pages. Also, it's very funny to note that even LEGO themselves cannot seem to get these very small stickers straight on Lego sets. I mean, I think this is something that all Lego fans have troubles with and find annoying, are putting these tiny little stickers onto Lego sets, and Lego themselves can't even do it. Yeah, so that's why we need all these pieces printed, because not only would this remove the error in this set, but also make it a lot easier and a lot less irritating for Lego fans. This next mistake is in this Lego Troll set. Now, you may think there's a lot of things wrong with this set, but let me tell you, don't skip ahead, because there is actually, in the instructions, it tells you to put a piece where you literally cannot put the piece. It's pretty crazy. So here it is on steps 32 and 33. You can see on the step 33, you are supposed to put this musical note Lego piece on that white cloud piece. However, as you can see from step 32, there is no stud there. It would be impossible to place that piece right where it's telling you to place it on step 33, making it near impossible. Well, not even near impossible, very much so impossible to place the piece right there. Now, quite obviously from this product image, they just put it over on the next stud over, but I'm just trying to figure out why they put it all the way over on that side in the first place. How did that get by? I really have no idea. Next up, of course, we need to take a look at some Lego catalogs, because these never fail to impress, or maybe not impress, I guess. This one here, though, is a Lego City page, in which you can see that there's a set pictured 2 times. It's the exact same one, although the names of the sets are different. The picture is the same for 2 of them, so I guess they just forgot to change the picture to the other set, but yet, I mean, they got the information right, at least, the name and the price. There was also this old Lego catalog that was showcasing some of the Minecraft sets, and then mistakenly labeled the villager as a zombie, and the zombie as a villager. And one last Lego catalog error, we have Frodo and Gandalf. They were switched up for one of the Lord of the Rings sets. Let's move on to a Lego Speed Champion set here. These always have a ton of stickers in them, so maybe you know where this is going. Right here on the side of the car, we have this sort of stripe that goes across, and those are all stickers right there for the most part. And so obviously, well, we need to make sure those all line up in the instruction book. Oh, they don't. They don't line up in the instruction booklet. Yeah, so the instruction booklet tells you to put the sticker on upside down so that the lines don't match up. Okay. What's even more interesting is that since the instructions were messed up, the individual who was tasked with building the set and then taking the product images also messed it up. And so for half the product images, other than the ones that are on the official front of the box, they also have the stripe messed up on the side. Next up, let's move on to Lego Monkey Kid. We haven't had one of these sets in any of these videos yet. This is Monkey Kid's Team Secret HQ. Now, what is wrong with this set, you may ask? It appears that there has been a turquoise tidal wave of paint that has washed over the side of this sort of barge or ship of Monkey Kid's HQ here. I doubt this is on purpose, because I don't feel like Lego would want to cover up part of their set that they're trying to sell with this image here. I feel like just in Photoshop, the layers were just in front of these other set images here, and then it ended up covering it up, and I guess they didn't realize until they had posted it. Let's check out another Lego Star Wars set here. This is the battle on Takudana, and the error here is in the instruction booklet. As you're starting to build Bag 2, you construct Kylo Ren as well as Finn, and as you're building Finn, it tells you to build the lightsaber in a certain way, but then you look at the minifigure and he's holding it with the hilt the opposite way. Now, this is already a building style of disagreement among some Lego fans on which way the hilt should go for the lightsabers in order to make it more accurate, and this instruction booklet literally just tells you do whatever you want, because it has it both ways. Here is yet another Lego Star Wars set with an error. This is the Millennium Falcon set, specifically set number 75257. Now, this one's instruction booklet error actually tells you that you need 2 of the upper cockpit pieces that are clear in order to construct Bag 10 onto the Millennium Falcon. However, you definitely would never need 2 of these pieces. Not only are there not 2 of them in the set, but where would you need a second upper cockpit piece? This makes me quite puzzled, because I'm not sure where they would even think the second one would go, and a lot of times these mistakes in the instruction booklets are due to copy and paste issues, such as the Phantom Arrow in the first set, which we took a look at, except that the first one here is also a 1x, so it's not like that was just copy and pasted over, and it continues for multiple pages. So this next page in the instruction booklet also says you need 2 of them, but yet at the end of this build, you haven't used 2 of them, that's for sure, and you definitely wouldn't, because there isn't 2 of them in the set. The next mistake you may be familiar with if you follow Lego Ideas, but there is some interesting information here. So the Lego Flintstone set was originally the 24th Lego Ideas set, and it still is to this day. However, the next one that came out was the Steamboat Willie, which also happened to be number 24 for some reason. And so LEGO didn't appear to have changed the number for this set. In fact, it got to the point where they were selling them with the number 24 on it. So it took them a very long time. In fact, it really took like consumers to tell them, hey, look, you know, there's the wrong number on here, because even on their official website, you could buy it and the picture said 24 on the box. Now, obviously, LEGO responded to this, and basically they said that this number will be corrected for future sets. But basically what this means now is that there are some sets out there that have number 24 and some of them that have number 25. So that's very interesting. If you wanted to collect all the sets, would you now need to get both of them again? Or maybe not? Is the 24 more valuable? Probably. This next set is the oldest set by far in today's video. This is the 2004 LEGO Star Wars X-Wing Fighter, and then after we check out this one, I have a speed round of 5 more sets with some ridiculous errors in them, so stay tuned for that. For these 2004 sets, we had a very different style of LEGO instructions. A lot of red arrows everywhere, and also some background pictures or background artwork to go along with it. These were some very pretty instruction booklets. Now, also with that though, there were a lot of discrepancies with it, that sometimes the arrows wouldn't make a lot of sense based on, you know, how the images were encoded out and printed out. But basically, we got some that kind of looked a little off. So if you looked from really far away, perhaps here you could consider for a split second that this 1x1 brick was actually going to be placed on top of that gear piece. I mean, why would that make any sense? It doesn't, and that wouldn't work. But from far away, maybe you'd think that, and even for step 7 here, it could be confusing while building these sets, and I'm glad LEGO has, you know, really made it a lot more clear in more modern day sets. Alright, it's time for the lightning round. We're going to go through these real fast, so let's check them out. The first one here is this LEGO Hidden Side set. However, if you build the set, you'll notice that one of the stickers is actually mirror image flipped. The sticker isn't the correct orientation. This next LEGO Star Wars set came out in 2014. It's called the Droid Gunship, which is a very ironic name considering that the droid itself isn't even built right in the instructions, which is kind of sad honestly, but very ironic that a set called the Droid Gunship, which specializes obviously having these droid minifigures around with the set, has an incorrect orientation for the torso of the droid. In this LEGO City set, the 4x4 response unit, another issue is present in the instruction booklet compared to the actual pieces. You'll notice that the diver over on the left has lime green arms. However, the version in the instruction booklet actually has gray arms for some reason. Something else to point out here is that there is no other minifigures in this set that have gray arms. And so how they ended up being gray, I'm not exactly sure, but perhaps whenever they are creating these instruction booklets, there is a default color for everything before they change it or add in different pieces. Here we are checking out another LEGO Star Wars set. This one is the AT-ST Walker, and yet it has a mistake that we haven't checked out any like it so far. So basically in the instructions, it tells you to put on this sort of disc piece or flat tile, but then the next step, it turns to be just a shadow figure, which is very weird. I'm not sure why that would happen in the instruction booklet, but it does come back in the next step. So why would it have turned sort of like a shadowy color? I'm not exactly sure, but it's definitely some sort of weird error in the booklet. Now, this LEGO Star Wars Sandcrawler from 2005 may take the cake for the most complicated and most confusing instructions of any LEGO set, because due to the instructions back in the day, how they were made, and the contrast with the sets, as well as the very dark colors that all look very similar, the instructions were extremely hard to follow. So this wasn't really just a specific mistake for a specific piece, but rather just the color scheme overall and the instructions overall, which is very hard to follow. And take a look at all those pieces you need to add in each step. It's not just 3 or 4 pieces, no, it's a ton of them. I mean, look at this step here. How are you going to tell where all of those go? You'd really need to pay attention and make sure you're putting them in the correct location. If you enjoyed this video and perhaps want a part 4, please let me know with a like rating down below. Check out parts 1 and 2 linked in the description, or check out one of the videos on screen right now. Subscribe to my channel for more LEGO content, and as always, I'm SpitBrix. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video coming very soon.